The eco-warriors in Britain are organising our Noah's Ark campaign, which is a massive worldwide publicity campaign to stop global warming and save the human race from being driven to extinction this century as a result of the burning of fossil fuels. We are the friends of the Pacific warriors who are fighting to save their island nations in the South Pacific from vanishing beneath the rising sea levels as global warming floods their world. The eco-warriors' modern-day version of Noah's Ark will be the travelling school for eco-warriors, publishing and broadcasting the truth about the danger of global warming, which threatens to wipe out all life on Earth, including the human race. The burning of fossil fuels is causing climate change, and the Earth's temperatures are increasing, melting the polar ice caps and raising the sea levels, threatening worldwide flooding, which will kill billions of people, according to United Nations scientists. The melting methane hydrate gas in the polar regions threatens an ecological cataclysm that will make the Earth completely uninhabitable within 20 years, and humanity is facing extinction. The eco-warriors are attempting to change the future and ensure the survival of future generations by offering our solutions to the global environmental crisis. The only possible answer to stop global warming will be for the whole world to stop the burning of fossil fuels and to close down the fossil fuel industries, which are causing global warming and climate change. To help stop the imminent genocide of humanity that is being caused by the capitalist Bilderberg group of banks, corporations and governments that are destroying the planet and wiping out all life on Earth, the eco-warriors in Britain are offering the people of the world our reality TV show for the children, which is entitled, Can You Save the Human Race?
We have to go and then come back. It's a round trip.
So should I blow off Channel 4 real quick? It'll take I'll do like 3 minutes.
Obviously do then. But
Well, it's good. Where's Charlie at? Is he going with us?
No, I think he's going to write on his piece. Yeah.
Still here, Alex.
Hi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just got like 4 minutes.
Can we film you this way? If that's okay.
However you like, sir.
Yeah, it's okay.
Where's Richard?
Right here.
Hey, bro, will you hold my stuff? I'll get it back for you in a minute. Great job, Richard. We need to get the crew some food.
We'll hit this side, yeah?
Yeah, you're grand, yeah.
Okay,
No, the other side. Sorry.
yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir. Then we're away.
3, 2, 1. So, what are you hoping to achieve here, given what's going on with them?
It's been our job and our main goal just to expose there are powerful lobbying groups and organizations like Bilderberg above government that are transnational that come in and basically lobby governments to give them corporate bailouts, to buy weapons systems. There's all sorts of collusion going on here. There were Lockheed Martin investigations in the 70s. That's why the founder, Prince Bernhard, had to step down. There's just all sorts of shady goings on, price fixing, you name it. Over the years, via WikiLeaks, but before that, even the BBC and others broke a lot of news out of Bilderberg where they were indeed inside setting policy. And they've refused Freedom of Information Act request as well, saying that policy is being made. But then the Bilderberg Group separately says policy is not being made. The Bilderberg Group is basically a world shadow government. It is a legendary organization within government, within people in Congress and your parliament. They all know about it. They all lust to be invited. Because if you get invited here, you end up being president or prime minister. But then, meanwhile, they tell the public it doesn't exist. It's
Well, it clearly exists.
well, in the past, the New York Times just 4 years ago said that I was in Chantilly at a Bilderberg meeting covering it, and that it was imaginary, that I imagined helicopters and Secret Service and black vehicles. And they told their readers that I had a full-on insane breakdown and that it didn't exist. But we had all the YouTube videos. I made a film that was seen more than 40 million times online, The Obama Deception, showing it all, so they were discredited. So I've never seen such a news blackout as we have in the United States. It's been better here, but the dam has broken on the blackout of Bilderberg. You've got your prime minister coming here today. That shows that they've gone from trying to be secret, so they're not under the light of publicity, to now saying, okay, we're no big deal. We're kind of like a G20 meeting.
It's a curious coalition here. Not everybody's going to agree with some of your, say, your politics as stated in America on other issues. I mean, there's some fairly left-wing voices here. You're hardcore libertarian. How do you map through those differences?
Well, I'm really a populist who does believe in libertarian ideas when they're actually brought forth from the grassroots. And
There's loads of left-wingers here who probably thought Obama was a bit of a hero. You don't agree with those guys, do you?
Hey, let me ask you, you think Obama's a hero? No!
No.
Hey, do you think George Bush is a hero? No! Okay, no. People are fed up. They know the system is a fraud. They know it's a scam. They know there's people above prime ministers and presidents that are pulling the strings. We want to talk about the puppeteers, not the puppets. And that's what's happening, is really an end of the naivety. What we're seeing happen is an end of the incredible naivete of the general public to actually believe the media and the government when they say there's no secret rooms, there's no manipulation going on. When there's been
not secret anymore, is it?
No, but they tried to keep it secret. Yeah. They tried to have media they controlled for decades say it didn't exist, or now that it doesn't have any power, or those of us that criticize it are conspiracy theorists. When we've gotten their minutes, we know they created the European Union as a system to implode countries under corporate governance. We know that they lobbied years before for the Iraq War I and Iraq War II and tried to create the climate so that those wars would happen. This is about as evil as you get on this planet. This is a global corporate government that is trying to take over the entire planet. They're not in full control yet, but they are a world government that is basically learning to walk right now, and it wants to run.
Right now, on the day that this meeting's happened, we've had this story that the National Security Agency in your country, in America, has got access to all sorts of US data, tech company data. Some of the tech bosses are in there. What's your kind of response to that development? Do you trust data in your own country from these large tech companies?
For 18 years on air, I've exposed that all communications in the Western world, whether it's the EU, the UK, or the United States, run through hubs and are recorded. In the old days, it was just text, they say. This is all in Congress. The media just wouldn't touch it because we're free countries. We're not recording you. And now they come out and say, you know what, we've audio recorded everything you've said the last decade, so watch it. This is the establishment coming out and saying, you bet we're listening, and you bet if you criticize us, the IRS is going to come and we're going to audit you. So sit down and shut up, peasants. That's what's happening. And I was called a conspiracy theorist on national US TV. Alex Jones says the government's spying on you without warrants and recording your phone calls. When it was in the Telecommunications Act of 1996, $9 billion to fund the upgrade of huge computer hubs in all telecommunications to record everything. They have giant NSA bases down the street from my house in Austin, Texas. They have a huge one in San Antonio, 60 miles away. They have them in every state, giant compounds with black helicopters and men with guns and machine guns recording everything. And if you go and put a camera on it, they come out and arrest you. And then the media won't cover it because those bases don't exist. They're right next to a Walmart in San Antonio. Thousands of acres, giant compounds, helicopters, men with masks on. None of it exists. And then I'm going, it exists. They're like, crazy man. There's no NSA. There's no spying. There's no torture. There's no corruption. The government loves you. Everything's fine. Piers Morgan cares about you. Well, I'm here to tell everybody something right now. I'm here to tell all the globalists and all the sellouts. The answer to your 1984 tyranny is 1776. Worldwide. 1776. 1776. 1776. And by the way, 1776 is not about America versus England. The Parliament almost voted to give freedom to the colonies, and the king came down and demanded they declare war. The fight in the colonies was a 1,000-year war they'd had in these isles for freedom in England, in Ireland, in Scotland, in Wales, everywhere. It's a human fight for the Magna Carta that Tony Blair, when he first got elected, declared he would kill. That is treason. You want to know why you're a slave? They're trying to kill your Magna Carta, your due process, so they're above the law. And that's why we're here. The New World Order is not above the law. And liberty is rising!
Right now, though, Facebook, Apple, Google, YouTube, Skype, it's just been revealed that almost all of those networks have a back passage, as it were, in from the US government, from the NSA. What would you say to individuals in terms of what this means about the relationship with the state?
Google is the state. Facebook is the state. Google was set up with funding from In-Q-Tel and the CIA. That's mainstream news. But government has more scrutiny on it than private corporations, so they set up these subgroups under it so that they can then claim that they have corporate deniability. Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of them serve the global corporate interest. They're spying on everybody. Google's on record driving around with Google cars, stealing everyone's data, breaking into passcodes. Meanwhile, you do that with some cops, you go to jail in the UK. That's just because the low-level cops aren't supposed to get into the big-time game of spying on people, hacking phones. You hack phones, you go to jail. You spy on everybody illegally, well, they make you king.
Do you have a problem with them using this technology to root out security problems?
Oh. The Al-Qaeda threat is run by the globalists. They created them on record. They ran them in Libya.
Yes.
They run them in Syria. The New World Order is staging the bombings in India. It's provocateuring the bombings here. It is going out and finding mentally ill people in every case, even the New York Times reports. And they're totally discredited, but they have to admit that our government has created over 100 fake terror attacks by going out and finding mentally ill people. They use the pretext of a terror threat to spy on everyone, and now it turns out it's to spy on constitutionalists, nationalists, people that love freedom. Members of Congress are being spied on by the NSA. Why? Because they're Al-Qaeda? No. Big Brother uses the excuse of Al-Qaeda that they run to take our liberty. And we're now at a critical crossroads because all this is coming out. And if people make the decision collectively to say, well, that's okay, then we go deep into tyranny. We're at that crossroads where all this open evil either wakes us up and we reverse the pendulum from tyranny back to liberty, or we just kind of give into it and go, okay, Bob got disappeared because, you know, he might have been a security threat, or yeah, they're spying on you. That's to keep us safe. This is pure classical authoritarianism, and it has come to the United States. It has come to England. It has come to Europe.
Well, you seem to have won the argument amongst this audience, but the masses don't seem to care about their privacy being taken from them. They're writing.
You don't speak for the masses.
I don't speak for them, but I'm saying by evidence they seem to put whatever, you know, all of their personal data on Facebook for free forever. All of the tweets seem to go out
because
there.
they were promised by Google and all of them that they weren't saving it. But now that they're discovering that they were lied to, they are becoming angry. And the average person is doing nothing wrong, so they feel like, well, that's okay, the government's nice. But now they find out the government's corrupt and run by private piratical interest, and now people are upset saying, I don't want you to have my data.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Ready to go? Yeah, we're late. Let's go.
Take this interview without editing it.
Please don't call it a full thing. Cool. Let's do piece of camera. All right.
Take a couple, go on, take a couple. You never know. There you go. Are you ready?
We were the only TV programme ever to release the legal opinion on the Iraq war. We revealed that the my colleagues revealed the fact that...
You don't need to reveal that for us to know it's a fact.
No, you
what
don't,
you need
but
to start
we
reporting on is real facts, what's going on here and now. Not Iraq war.
What about the city? What about the city without getting Secretary of State to agree with it?
Channel 4 News does not need to tell us that the Iraq war was illegal for it to be a fact. The fact that you reported on it, brilliant, but it's a fact. You don't need Channel 4 News to tell us to make it a reality. Why don't you report on the rest of the crap? Why don't you talk on it?
Have you watched all the Channel 4 News?
Owned by the state.
It's not the same thing.
What you just said is owned by the state.
No, you didn't. You said it was funded. You're totally wrong.
No, I said the state is state funded. I said it's owned by the government.
No, you didn't. Now you're lying.
So what is the state then? What is the state? Yeah.
Owns the company.
Exactly. What is the state? The state is the government, isn't it? You're just twisting words.
You're shouting.
Who's asking your fucking opinion, mate?
Me?
Yeah. Did I fucking ask you?
No.
So you're not enjoying yourself. No. This is very. I know. It's interesting to see.
It's quite a good turnout, and hopefully there'll be more for Saturday, and Sunday can finish it off nicely.
Right. Tech companies named in today's PRISM documents. Can you just maybe slightly go out of shot?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay? You're just creeping in. You can be in shot, but if you're filming us, it looks a bit weird. But if you just, is that okay?
Well done. Well, he's filming you.
It's okay to film.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2. So over there, the world's power elite are gathering prime ministers, the bosses of multinational companies, even the bosses of some of the tech companies named in those PRISM documents. Over here, the other side of the barrier, the general public begins. And the revelations this morning may have shattered the illusions of privacy once and for all, but it came as no surprise to many here. Yeah? Talk about that. I mean, did you read that story from this morning about the NSA? Do you know about the data?
I don't know about it.
Because we're really focused on that, really.
I know about the technology that gets sold to phone companies and the whole technology industry to gather information and send it back to intelligence agencies.
Well, let's give it a go because we're pretty focused on that today.
I was going to talk. What do we want to discuss?
Well, I mean, really, we're just gathering. Many of the guys here will come as no surprise that tech companies, like popular tech companies, probably. I know your mates from school.
Yeah.
They all use these companies.
Yeah.
I guess. Did you have any expectation of those communications being private?
What sort of communication?
Like Facebook and Google and YouTube.
Well, it's so easy to hack a computer nowadays that it's never going to stay private unless you've got an amazing security system on your own computer. It doesn't matter if the CIA own Facebook or any conspiracy like that. Many people have the means to access your computer remotely. Yeah. It really doesn't matter who they are. Just the fact that the government just have more means to do it because they have more power.
I'll just start having a chat. Yeah, ready? Just Daniel, your name if you.
Daniel Cooper.
And how old are you?
16.
Okay, great. It doesn't seem to come as much of a surprise to people here that tech companies are cooperating with US government and offering routes into.
They have been forever. It's just the relationship between business and government has become so close, as you can see here, and it becomes so secret from the public when they have so much power over the public, and they create the policies that the public live by. They give them the technologies that the public use in every day-to-day life, but we can't just talk to them.
Some would say that, particularly from your generation, teenagers, no one really cares about privacy anymore. They're putting everything on Facebook.
Well, it's not that they don't care. They don't know about it. They don't know that Facebook could be run by the CIA. They're not fully aware that their computer can be hacked like that. They just don't know. There's no awareness of it. That's the thing.
Well, do you think they'd really... I mean, if you look at the stuff that an average teenager would put on Facebook, to me it shows they don't even care about privacy, so why should they care if governments are hacking into their email?
The kids don't get taught anything in school, so how are they ever going to put anything worthwhile on Facebook? They get shown how to be by the outside world, the magazines, yeah? The school just lets them process information in a certain way. It doesn't teach them about the real world. If you just put a kid out into the real world, if Barack Obama's kid went with him to, his job, he'd say, "Daddy, why are you shooting, why are you shooting the Middle East? Why are there wars?" If we just let the kids go out into the world without being forced through education until they're nearly an adult and they're dependent on the system, the kids would ask questions. They wouldn't need Facebook. Maybe they're saying how the world should be. Because people are born good. Yeah, the world corrupts us.
Do you expect privacy when you're working on your computer?
I know I don't have any privacy. I know, that guy hacked into the bloody CIA. Sure, the CIA can hack into him. It's simple. I don't trust my webcam, but I can't be bothered to cover it up because I don't really care who's watching me.
Do you think you might be being watched through your webcam?
Well, no, I don't care. I'm saying, it's easily possible that someone could tap into it, but I really couldn't care less. The CCTV cameras watching me. There could be a drone right now without me knowing. We got to that point where there's so much secrecy and so much observation of the public that it really doesn't matter anymore.
Isn't it over? Isn't it? This stuff is never going to be put back in the can now. The ability to watch people is just
what do
there.
You mean? It's just there forever, and we can't get rid of it.
Isn't it?
Well, we can easily smash every security camera in the world. There's enough people to do that. So no, it's never over. It's never over until there's no people to smash them up. It's never over until there's no one with a voice.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate that.
Cheers.
You're going to be a good spokesman, or you are a good spokesman.
I'm here.
Okay, stand by. Rolling. Action.
My name's Gregory Sams, and I'm here because I've been doing this sort of thing since 1967 when I catered the first Glastonbury Festival, which was a bit of a rebel event going on there, and I just thought I had to be here for the Bilderberg meeting and see what's going on and be part of exposing it to the public glare.
What do you think about today, the way it's being conducted and the vibe?
I think it's fantastic that they've A, pulled this off, and B, pulled it off at such short notice, considering what a secret gathering this is and how fenced off it is. That I'm very impressed that I suppose we got this bit of land to do this.
A different approach this time.
Yeah? How was the approach different?
Yeah, well, just perhaps more and that they're strictly not doing that.
Right.
So, what do you think about the state of play in the planet? You've witnessed a lot, you've been an aware person for some time.
Well, I'm giving a talk today, and I wrote a book 1998 called Uncommon Sense, Is the State Out of Date? And we're very concerned about corporations taking over the world, but the real problem and what they're able to take over is the state. Because you don't find corporations with standing armies, stocks of bombs, and tear gas, unless they're manufacturing it. You do that with the state, and the corporations need the state. Pharmaceutical companies cannot force us to take their drugs. They can't shut down herbalist practitioners. Whereas with the state, they can. They can initiate legislation. With 3 lobbyists for every senator and congressman in America, they can convince them that children have to be vaccinated. In America now, you can have your children taken away from you if you refuse to have them vaccinated.
I know someone that's had that happen to them here in the UK.
And the problem is the state, not the corporations, because somebody will always run the state. And just a few hundred years ago, when the church was the power behind the state, you could be killed as a witch for practicing herbalism. And heaven forbid, if you wanted to get into sun worship or moon worship, you could go to jail for blasphemy and not attending church. Playing musical instruments was banned in Geneva, or dancing or singing for 100 years or more. So somebody's always going to run this mechanism. And the point I'm making today really is that it's a new mechanism. It's only 5% of the period that modern human beings have been on Earth that we've had this top-down control from the state. 4,500 years, we've been here 100,000. We've had civilization and culture for 35. So it's not, there's nothing certain in life but death and taxes. Taxes is a new phenomenon. This idea that people can reach into your pocket, or even before you get the money, take it away from you without even having to hold a knife to you. It's an extraordinary concept that this is going on. And this really represents what is the most corrupted aspect of it, when it's controlled by outside interests. But the only real purpose of the state is to protect us from other versions of themselves. Getting involved in housing, education, medicine, agriculture, everything they touch, it's like the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything turns to mud. that they get involved in. And that's the point I want to make, is people keep thinking, well, the government should do this, they should do that. They shouldn't do anything, because we're really, really good at doing stuff ourselves. And we don't think about how wonderful the shoe industry is, or telecommunications, and all these things that we've developed from the bottom up without anybody planning for smartphones or planning for airline networks and things. We do that brilliantly. And that's our real message. Stop expecting the state to do things, and perhaps the withering away process will begin.
Would you like to?
It's been completely upgraded and is coming out in September with a new title, which I'm still arguing with the publishers on. It'll be a $2.99 ebook, and it'll be a hardback next year. So that's common sense. The state is out of date. And
Thank you very much.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very
welcome.
That's brilliant. Okay.
Did I give you a card?
Getting together and plotting some of their evil deeds. And we have a lot of talk today about, corporate takeover of the world. And I'm really sort of separating this corporate political thing, because you don't find companies with standing armies, stocks of bombs, hand grenades, and tear gas in their working cupboards. They need the coercive state to do their nasty work. Pharmaceutical companies cannot force you to give injections or vaccines to your children. They can't force you to put a particular type of petrol in your car, or to have a license in order to touch people with therapy, as you do in California, America. They need the state, the coercive powers of the state. And we've all heard the saying, it was Winston Churchill who said, no, it wasn't Winston Churchill, excuse me. It was Benjamin Franklin said, there is nothing certain in life except death and taxes. Well, death has always been a part of life. But taxes come with the coercive state. There's nothing natural or inevitable about there being a body of people who have the right to dip into your pocket and take money out of it that you have actually earned without holding a knife or a gun to your head. And this is not an inevitable part of life. And in fact, we've only had this coercive state for 5% of the time that we've been on Earth as modern humans. We've been here 100,000 years as modern humans. We've had some civilization and culture for 30,000 of those years. And it's only 4,500 years ago that the coercive state came into being. And if you go to the British Museum, I was there just a week ago, and you go into the Sumerian section and Mesopotamian section. I've got to get some water. I always get a dry throat when I'm speaking in public. I don't know why.
About streamlining the video. More than welcome.
Oh, great. Well, that's very gracious. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hi, how you doing?
God bless.
Cheers, mate.
Good job.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you very much, Steve. Let's hope we get a good number here tomorrow, eh? There's going to be people coming a long way tomorrow, I'll tell you that. Cheers, mate. Hello, mate.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate.
Better have the Holy Spirit, folks. Only the Holy Spirit's going to sort this out. Jesus Christ is the only answer. The gospel message is the only thing we should be considering. The weapons of warfare are not carnal.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Hello, Peter. Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Hello, mate. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hey. Hello, mate.
Sorry.
How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hello, mate. Hey.
Yes, Dave, I've been following you since I was about 10, 11.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I love that.
Una figura, o sea, un tipo.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi,
No,
Dave.
how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going for my daughter's birthday now, but I'll see you tomorrow at 2.
Okay, 2 o'clock. Where's your tent?
There's our tent.
Is it good in
Anderson,
tent?
American
That's brilliant, that. I've seen you on the internet.
Mark Anderson's in those. He's taken over from Jim Tucker, American Free Press.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
Alex is down the bottom, down there.
Oh, I've got some water. So where's this bloody hotel?
David. Nice to sir. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. It's it. Cheers, mate. Sorry. Feel like the Queen.
What about the Queen, David?
Hello, James. Nice to meet you. Hello, sir. We get a lot of people there tomorrow, I hope.
Hi, David.
Hello, darling. Nice to meet you. Give us a cuddle.
Oh.
You got a cuddly face, you see.
Thank you.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Am I working my way towards Alex Jones? Am I?
Yeah.
Picture with you,
Where is he?
David.
Where is he?
Alex.
David, do you mind if I say? He's just there.
Where is he?
Just there, just near the loo.
Sorry. Oh, really? Near the loo? Alex!
Now look at that.
Hey! At last!
Hey, man, good to see you.
Good.
Good to meet you. Good.
That's just, yes, it was just to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the lads. I love yous.
Yeah, I've been out here all day pretty much. It's been pretty crazy. You want to shoot some video here real quick?
on a boat.
Listen, I hate to get you here at the thing and then have you run off to the hotel to do a radio interview. So what do you want to do?
It's up to you.
The radio show's already going. I got a guy sitting in there doing it. We could go over there and do the show right now.
Okay.
Or in 15 minutes if you say hi to everybody or whatever. It'll take another 20 to get over there.
Okay.
Our car's right there.
Okay.
And then we can take you wherever you wanted after that. We can also talk about tomorrow.
All right, no problem.
Isn't it great having David here? Feel like I know you, man.
Hey, thanks, chaps. You know, the first Bilderberg meeting location I ever went was 1995 in Switzerland. It was at the top of a mountain, and they wouldn't even let you on the mountain in 1995. And now look at it. Eh? People said Bilderberg Group, never heard of it. Well, they have now, haven't they? What a great moment this is.
That's right.
What a, get loads of
What
people.
the cops think when they saw you?
Yeah, we get loads of people here tomorrow, I hope.
Oh yeah, well there've been a lot of other people here too, but they come and go, and the police have been directing them like 8 miles away.
Yeah.
When people show up, they go, "Oh, you go to this park 8 miles away," and they make you walk in, and then they selectively. If you know the town council said this is parking for us, if you tell the cops that, they go, "Oh, now you can park." But if you don't know that, they say go. So there's all parking right over here, designated by the town council, but they won't let anybody have it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
We love you, David.
When somebody go into my pocket, I was like,
Cheers, darling.
Ollie, who'd you enjoy your buzz?
Alex and David, can we get a photograph of you this way?
You know, look at that, we're going to board Air Force One. Hey, you know what's incredible? Is that now David Cameron's coming to this, now they're acting like it's no big deal. First it didn't exist, then we were stupid to say that it had any power. Now the Prime Minister any minute is reportedly going to arrive, and they've got the police stacking up so that he can go in. Just really incredible.
It's a bit of a threat, isn't it, the police?
Listen, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, the thing is though, they've reached the point now where the genie's out of the bottle, you see. The genie's out of the bottle.
So now they got to act like it's no big deal.
Yeah, they can't put it back in.
Now this one's out in the open, there'll just be another secret group we don't know about.
Yeah,
but people know what to look for now.
Yeah, well, fair play.
Plus people are aware that there's shadow groups and illegal lobbying going on.
Don't you think David Cameron prefers the back entrance?
Peter Anderson does, doesn't he?
You guys want to make a phone tomorrow?
David, would you have a word for the attendant of the Bilderberg?
No.
David, what do you feel?
They just need all the help they can get.
War in Syria. War in Syria.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? Is this a holy war?
Alex, the whole of that is playing two sides of the same people off against each other. So another.
I'm good. That's good for now. Here, I'll get a shot.
I'll talk about it tomorrow, actually.
I'm going to go and get a battery. Have you got anything to say to all of us, David?
Well, the thing I've got to say more than anything else is, you know, when I think back 20, 23, 4 years, and the amount of people that knew anything about this was so tiny, and yet now this is a really major moment. This, not just here, but in the way that the knowledge of this organisation's got out, because they're coming out of the shadows, and this is such a wonderful, symbolic part of the web, because it's a point that people can relate to. If you go deep in the rabbit hole, where they're you're talking about things that people are going, he said what? That's another thing. But this is a point that people can relate to, because what it is simply, what we've been saying all these years is, if you look at the corporations and the banks and the governments and the political parties, in the end, they're all controlled by the same people. They're different masks on the same face. And here we have the absolute living proof of that this weekend in that hotel, where, I mean, what's the point of having lobby laws when the buggers get on the same roof? But this is a wake-up call for a lot of people. I know it is, from people that I've talked to this week. It's like, what do you mean they're meeting in secret? What are they doing? And this is why the genie will never go back in the bottle. A lot of people are going to start to open their minds to the world being very different to what they thought it was, because of this thing this weekend.
What are you going to speak about tomorrow night?
Oh, I think I'm going to speak about loads of things. Whatever comes into my mind. But
goalkeeping. How are you going to keep it under 13 hours?
Loads of things. Yeah, well, that's the point. I've had the crystal healing, and I've had the hands-on healing, but I can't shift this verbal diarrhea. That's the truth. I can't.
No, it's not diarrhea, man.
So yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of things I like to say, because you can put this into a much bigger context of what's happening today. Because this do I?
Yeah. Exactly. Everybody wants to hear.
Anyway, I don't know how to hold one of those. Alex is the expert on the megaphone.
Alex, you start talking.
But I'm going to come here tomorrow. I'll be here most of the day tomorrow. So
Great.
I'm going to talk at some length, if people want me to talk at some length about this stuff, and the context that this can be put into on a wider way. It's just a great moment. I just hope that loads and loads of people turn up here tomorrow and make a statement. We ain't having it anymore, because this is a really major opportunity we're looking at here.
Well, it's already been a big defeat. There's probably 20 times the coverage has ever been.
Yeah.
They're having to admit it, and the mainstream media used to try to deny this even existed. So how big of a defeat is that for them? Well, I mean, I see this as a real turning point.
The thing is, if it stopped now and we all went home, we've made massive strides in the last few days. Just in the mainstream media acknowledgement of the fact that it exists. But if we can get a lot of people here tomorrow, we can make a massive statement.
Well, we've got to work now on getting the police to not misdirect people. Because they did that to us when we were on the other side of it. They kept saying, go on down the road a little more, and then down the road, and then I was like 3 miles away trying to walk back. That's what they're doing to everybody.
Well, it's just like I said to the guy who was doing his kind of, thing with his stick and stuff when you come in, the old security. I said, what's happening here is the prisoners are policing the prison, but they can't see it. That's a thing, an area we have to get to, and that is to get those in uniform and the dark suits that administer it and don't know that what they're doing, and the fact that their children and grandchildren are in the gun sight as well, to realise that they shouldn't be protecting them from us, they should be protecting us from them. That's what they should be doing. That's the dynamic, but they don't. This is the way it works. And what we've got here is a real symbolism is very powerful. And what we've got here is a symbol of the world, because what they want to create is a Hunger Games type world in which you have a tiny few that are unbelievably mega rich. And you think you'd go from poor through what they call middle class to rich. If you look at the graphs now, it's going down there and then suddenly whoop with the 1%. And in some of the graphs, they are so rich that it actually goes off the page and they have to put the top of the graph next to it. And this is what they want. They want a society in which there is a mega rich and everyone else is mega poor. And in the middle of that are the dark suit administrators and the uniforms to administer the 1% agenda on the mega poor masses. So here we have a situation here where you've got 140 people meeting there. You've got a ring of steel around them, so they are cut off from us, exactly what the Hunger Games Society is supposed to be. And then you've got the uniforms administering that and protecting that from the mass of the people. That is precisely the dynamic that they want that global society.
And that's why they're engineering it to make us poor in their own Agenda 21 so that they can then control the services and make us beg for crumbs. And they brag about this. In fact, a few years ago, they openly said we want to make people so poor they can't come protest us.
Well, this is the point, you know, because we're going to go do this interview now, listen, but I'll be here tomorrow. But this is the point of what's going on economically. What they've done is crash the economy in 2008 and done it on purpose, and then they started a massive, phenomenal, unprecedented transfer of wealth from the mass of the people to this elite through the banking system. So, first stage of that was crash the banking system, and then you get governments to bail out the banks. Now it's a banking problem has become a government problem. The next stage of that, and this is what Cyprus was all about, was to go into a point where, having taken the banking problem and into a government problem, you then pass it on, this is what's happening now, to the people as an austerity problem. And so this transfer of wealth is going from banks, the banking system, or to the banking system, through government, from the people. People, government, banks. Cyprus was about going to the next stage of that and not even going through governments to steal from the people, but going direct into their bloody bank accounts. Yeah. And the point being, the power of precedent is massive. And having set it in Cyprus, then when the next banking crisis comes, and it's all planned, of course, it'll be discussed in there over the weekend, possibly now, they are going to say, well, hold on a second. We can't, governments, bail out the banks anymore. What about the people of Cyprus? We can't let them have their, money taken from their bank account and then say that it's not happening elsewhere. This is what the European Union is going to say. And therefore, the idea is to transfer wealth, not just via governments to the banks and the elite, but actually from bank accounts alone. And the point is, and I'll say this to anyone who wants to listen, who has got lots of money now and thinks, well, I'm all right, Jack, never mind what's happening in bloody Watford and what those people are doing.
They're going to devalue it.
What they've got to understand, these people now who are seriously rich, if you are not part of this network, they want your money too. So we're in this together. And if they divide and rule us by saying, well, it's not my problem, or it's not my problem, and then suddenly knock, 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 can I talk to you, sir? Well, it is your problem. But all the people that could have stood by your side have already been picked off while you were looking the other way. This is why we need to come together. Because if you're not part of this elite, they want your money. They want your poor. And this is a massive, massive moment. I think tomorrow could be one of the days that we look back and say, that's the time.
The world woke up.
That's the time.
Davey, can you confirm what time you'll be here tomorrow?
I'll be here late morning and then for the rest of the day.
That's right. He's going to do my radio show right now.
Thanks ever so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you, man.
Hey, Watson. Yeah. Steve's busy going to get her stuff. Here's Paul Watson.
Hey, hello, mate.
He's going to lead you over to the car.
Okay.
Come on. All right, I'm going to go get my reporter. Just take your time, Watson.
Dave, what about the Jordan Guy Stones?
I'll see.
Jordan Guy Stones.
Hey?
What about the Jordan Guy Stones?
Oh yeah.
What about the reason why they got rid of Saddam Hussein? Because he wanted to start trading in dollars instead of euros instead of dollars.
Is your friend ready?
Yeah, sure, mate. You got a camera? Good chat. Cheers, mate. Nice to meet you. I'll see you tomorrow. No problem.
What time are you talking tomorrow, David?
Isn't it great? Nice people give the greatest cuddles.
Can I get a picture of you, mate?
No problem, mate. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I did this interview with the radio. We're coming back. Hello. Come on, we're coming back.
Kick Alex in there as well.
The show's going to be on here. The point's we're going to give them on the radio, and it'll be over anyways now. So.
Be on the radio.
It's already on for an hour.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
See you tomorrow, guys.
In the rugby, what's it called, a scrub? Scrum. Let's run through in the scrum.
There's a turning point.
All right.
2013.
We're coming right back.
Turning point.
I think it's the turning point in wider mainstream public awareness. And at a time when people are starting to realise they're being stitched up.
All right, through the scrum. Yeah, through the scrum.
Oh, nice one.
All right.
Good work. Cheers. I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go to this interview real quick. I'll see you at the car. Let's go.
I'm going to stay and get the shot, okay?
Cheers, mate.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted my...
We'll give it some wellies tomorrow.
Can I have a photo of you?
No problem, darling.
I don't know how it'll work, but anyway.
Is that work?
Yes.
I don't know.
Does anyone know how these work?
Could someone press this
Yeah,
for me?
there's a radio with you. So I'm going to pretty much go.
Yes, Simon Levi!
Ready when you are, though.
I'm going to run in the
Probably I can, yeah.
Yeah, if you could include that tomorrow, because that really opens tomorrow.
My turn.
Go on, darling.
1969.
That's sweet, David.
Which one, that one?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Cheers. I'll see you tomorrow, darling.
Let's get the scrum going here.
See ya.
Are you off then, Alex? There's some cameraman.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at myself.
I love what you did on the marathon.
I live in...
Oh, God bless. We're just trying to cover the facts.
About 5. Yeah.
And I live in Wilton.
This is Sean. That's the whole thing. You've got a card.
Towards Jesus Christ.
Reformation in the scrum.
We'll contact you.
I'm coming, man.
I'm on, yeah.
Direct men to the work of God, Jesus Christ.
Man, I got to do this interview and I'm coming back.
Alex, you need to get right with the Lord. You need to stay away from that Kundalini spirit. You hear me? David.
You get the scrum here.
Oh, I'm Is that all right? Can I come back?
So far.
I'll give you a call. I'll drop you an email. You nearly came and you didn't. I'd like to have you on sometime.
How did you contact me last time?
Through your agent.
We have a loop at all.
Let's do it here. While we're here, we can live stream from here.
Well, let's see how we go tomorrow. I'm going to be here about lunchtime, all day.
Right, super. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Shake his hand.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, mate.
Alex,
nice to meet you.
good guy, man. Good guy.
Portugal. Fantastic. Tomorrow? Well, we'll sort it out tomorrow.
Of me and David up.
We'll sort it out tomorrow. They had a Bilderberg meeting in just outside Lisbon, didn't they, recently? Yeah. A few years ago.
Sorry. Sorry, David. Just press that. Press it. Sorry, mate.
Go
sorry.
ahead, no problem. I wouldn't, but as an interview this live.
I don't have an iPhone.
Hold on.
What can we hope for, David? Yeah, is that done? All right, cool. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, David. I know you've got
A word that we couldn't dream of. Hello, darling. All right. Yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
Anyway, I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, I'll see you. I'll be at lunchtime.
Oh, wow. It's here tomorrow, too. Excellent.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Excellent.
The last
last speaker? Oh, I didn't quite hear what she was saying, but I know she's from Canada.
Okay. What do you think about the Bilderbergs and stuff then?
The Bilderbergs, I send them love because I know they need help because what they're doing to our beautiful earth. And the reason I'm here is to give as much love as I can to people and show everyone my artwork. Yeah, so I've got lots of art to show everyone, which will be happening tomorrow, on Saturday. And yeah, just I come to spread love. That's why I'm here.
Nice. So you'll be here tomorrow then?
Yeah, of course. Tomorrow and Sunday, I'm thinking. I'm hoping the weather's nice.
And where are you from originally? You're from London? Or?
East London, Hackney, or Bethnal Green. Yeah.
And who are you here with today?
I'm here with some beautiful people, quite a few people actually. But yeah, for a good reason as well. So to show the Bilderbergs over there that we actually care about what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is there a campsite or something?
Is there, sorry?
People were camping here, is that right?
Camping here, yeah, and another campsite, I think. Yeah.
Cool, one more sign.
We love you.
Okay, and name and that and just say, I don't mind if you use this interview as media.
I don't mind if you use this interview for media.
Your name is?
Francesca McHugh.
Excellent, thank you, Francesca.
Thank you.
Cool, cool. I'll probably see you tomorrow, you don't?
Yeah, what's your name?
Shane.
Shane.
I'll give you a card.
Give me a hug.
Hey, hola.
Thank you, Shane.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I did the protests about the banks a few.
That's enough good, yeah. After yesterday, being out all day, I mean, yeah, I'm so exhausted now.
Really been doing much too much walking. So how did this all get organized? I know there was sort of
Hello, we all right?
Yes, we do.
Good, good. It's your birthday, yeah?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
Oh, yes.
Then I'll travel far.
Yeah, come back. Thank
Thank
you.
Hello, you all right?
nothing ropes.
Metal detected, bag search, any drinks have to be thrown away, you can't take them in.
The alternative media, the free media, who have been following this event and similar things in the world for a long time and have been banging on this particular drum for a long time, and this is the fruit of it. The fruit of it was, one of the little fruits of it was my turning up in 2009 to cover it in Athens, because I read about it in the alternative media. I went along, I didn't even really know it was going to be in Athens. I saw one little link on an internet forum somewhere and thought, okay, why not? I'll go along and write about it. So I went along, and there was barely 10, 12 people outside, and absolutely no mainstream media. I barely counted myself as mainstream media, but I was blogging it for The Guardian. And I haven't yet invoiced for any of them.
2012.
No, questions after the end. So, yeah, I want you to imagine what it was like in 2009 in Vuliakmeni. Absolutely no press, very few people. I say no press. There were a few bloggers, some independent journalists, but barely more than a dozen. And now we come to today, and it's just the difference is staggering. And I think that difference is due entirely to the alternative media, because the mainstream media has found it incredibly difficult to talk about Bilderberg. It just hasn't had the mental, the intellectual ability to address it. And I think what's happened this year is finally the mainstream media has understood what it is. Oh, this sounds exciting, more exciting than me. Hello. Anyway. Is it the Queen himself?